Namaste. My name is JVN Manisha Singh, Assistant Professor in Department of Food and Biotechnology under Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today, I am teaching you subject unit operation in food industries for class BSc FST second semester and BTech FPT second semester. Today, we will study all about the material handling. So, first of all, we will discuss all about the what is material handling. So, material handling is basically required as people moving materials and final goods from one place to the another is a common sight in a company which produces some physical products, and raw material delivered from suppliers is required to take the place where it can be used for the production. Okay, similarly final goods are loaded in trucks to send to their final destination, and it is right to say that material handling is one of the primary activities of an organization. Therefore, an organization must learn about the optimized method so that maximum productivity can be achieved. So, what is the definition of material handling? Material handling is an activity that involves the movement of material or the products within an organization from one place to the another place, or the flow of material or the products to the vehicles or from the vehicles. Okay, so the activities are usually confined within the boundaries of the organization, and the movement of the material from one organization to the another organization is categorized as transportation work, which is not a part of material handling activities. Okay, so it is not only about the movement of the material, but it is also involves the storage, protection, and control of material while it moves in different departments, like a warehouse, production, and manufacturing departments. And it is one of the essential tasks for organization. A poorly handled material become waste before it can be used for production purpose, or before it is sent to the retail stores. In old times, it was mostly done manually because of the lack of technology. Because of that, number of accidents during handling work was quite high. In present times, with the introduction of technology, almost all the work is done by the machines or done by using automation or semi-automation. The introduction of technology not only reduced the cases of accidents occurred, but also made the work fast. Next is the material handling processes. The material handling can be defined as the science and art involving in receiving, packaging, storing, and moving the material in any form. Then what is the objectives? So material handling is one of the most critical activities taking place in an organization, and material handling makes a large portion of the total business expense of a company. Therefore, achieving the lowest cost and maximum production can be considered as the main objective of the material handling. Okay, so number one is reduced cost using the material handling. The first and the foremost objective of material handling is lowering the cost of production, because a large portion of the total production cost is spent on material procurement, storage, and movement. Material is crucial for the production process. The process of production will halt if the material is not provided in sufficient quantity and on time. Therefore, material handling is given the utmost importance. Companies always look for methods that can be used for the optimized use of the material. By the use of sophisticated methods, the cost of production can be reduced to a significant amount. Next is the reduced waste of the material. Another significant concern of an organization is to minimize material waste. Sometimes the material gets wasted because of the poor storage, or sometimes it gets wasted while moving it from one place to the another place. An appropriate material handling not only concern about the movement of the material, but also takes place or takes care of placing orders of the right amount, making the use of the material at the right time, keeping the right amount of inventory, and moving material using the better techniques and with caution. All of this is taken care to reduce the wastage of the material. Moreover, lower wastage for material results in the lower cost, as a result of which profit margin of the organization will increase. Next objective is improved work condition. Before the inclusion of technology, all the movement and storage work were done manually, and some laborers are responsible for performing these tasks, and they are responsible for all loading and unloading work. Poor results in frequent accidents on site because of the poor work conditions. A proper and well thought material handling also takes care of people performing the work. Next objective is the enhanced distribution. Distribution means the delivery of final goods to the retailers and the wholesalers. Okay, so a lot of material gets damaged during the transportation because of poor packaging and poor storage. It helps in the reduction of damage to products during shipping and handling. In addition to this, it also concerns the storage location of the material. A proper storage location reduces the chances of material gets damaged into the storage houses. Next objective is the optimized warehouse capacity. Warehouse cost also adds the price of the final product, and warehouse capacity means the ability for storing the goods, and it is essential to take care of the layout of the warehouse, flooring of the warehouse, and easel space in the warehouse to have optimized warehouse capacity. Optimized warehouse capacity also helps in reducing the overall production cost. Next is improved flow of material. A smooth flow of material is when material enters the company in raw material form at the time when it is required and exits the organization in the form of final goods. The flow of material gets disturbed when the material is not available, when it is needed for the production, or gets damaged rather than being used for the production process. It concerns with the smooth flow of material in the organization, and it improves the circulation of the material in the organization, as a result of which material stays for less time in the warehouse and is used for the production at earlier stage. Next objective is full equipment utilization. Expensive machinery and equipment are used for the production process, and these equipment fails to perform at their maximum capacity because of the poor material handling. Because the performance of these equipment depends mainly on the speed at which the material is supplied and received. Therefore, material handling also helps in the full utilization of the capacity of the equipment. Next is the workers' safety. The last but not the least objective is the safety of workers. Poor material handling can result in accidents in the factory, which are very risky for the workers working there. Next is the principle of material handling. The material handling methods are designed based on the principles that are going to learn in this following section, and the following principles are: number one is the cost principle, to encourage the minimum expenditure while material handling. Okay, so next is computerization principle, to encourage the maximum use of the computers and automation as materials. Okay, next is the energy principle. This principle concerns about the consumption of the energy. Then ergonomic principle, to identify the human limitations and capabilities to do the work. Then ecology principle, to ensure the least impact on the ecological system because of material handling work. Next is flexibility principle, to encourage the use of tools and methods which can be used in the different types of work condition. Gravity principle, to promote the consideration of gravity principle in the material handling. Layout principle is concerned with the sequential order of the material handling operations. Maintenance principle is for regular maintenance and repair of machinery and device in material handling. Okay. Then mechanization principle is concerned with the deployment of mechanization methods to speed up the work and reduce the efforts of the humans. Orientation principle is to study the existing processes and problems before getting into preliminary planning. Planning principle is to plan by basic requirements and alternative approaches in material handling. Standardization principle encourages the standardization of tools and the techniques. The simplification principle is concerned with making the process of material handling as simple as possible. And the space utilization principle encourages the optimized use of the available space. The system principle is concerned with material and storage activities in material handling. And the system flow principle is concerned with the integration physical material flow with the data flow. And the safety principle is concerned with the rules and the regulations related to the safety of the workers working in the material handling. These all are the principles which are responsible for the material handling. Okay. Then what is the importance of material handling? So it is essential because a large proportion of manufacturing cost is made of material handling costs. And the cost of production can be reduced to an exceptional level with the help of proper handling. Moreover, the material is needed to move to several places before it is converted into the final goods. Therefore, the lack of appropriate handling can result in the damage of the products before they can be converted into the final products. The cost of the damaged goods also adds to the manufacturing costs, and as a result, the overall profit of the organization reduces. If I talk about the importance of the material handling from the safety of the workers working in the organization and the safety of the machines and the equipment used for the production process, then it is significant role to play. Workers are responsible for loading and moving material across the organization, and poor material handling can result in accidents during this process. And due to accidents, not only the material will get damaged, but the risk of the life of the workers also increases. Therefore, it is necessary for the sake of workers working in the organization as well as to minimize the production cost. Next is the types of material handling. The types of material handling have changed because of the enhancement of the technology. In this section, I will discuss all kinds of material handling that are used in the companies to receive, store, and move material in the organization. Okay, so manual material handling. The first method is used for the material movement is manual material handling. In this type of handling, the whole work of the movement is dependent on the workers. The workers lift, carry, deliver, and empty the container of the material by their own hands. And this type of material handling is a prolonged method for material movement, as a result of which it causes a delay in the production work and stops efficient machines to deliver up to their full capacity. Manual handling not only shows down the production work, but is also hazardous for workers who do the work. And they do a lot of physical labor which affects their health. The shoulders and lower back of workers get strained, which affects not only their work capacity but also the overall work capacity of the organization. Moreover, they are also prone to accidents because of doing a lot of physical work. Sometimes worker gets seriously injured in the accidents and left with lifelong injuries, and this is not good for the workers as they become incapable of earning their bread and butter, and it puts an extra financial burden on the company too. Next is semi-automated material handling. The semi-automated material handling is when workers do the work of material handling with the help of the machinery and other carrying trolleys and trams. Semi-automation becomes popular in the industry in the initial days of the introduction of technology, and it is a good alternative for the manual handling. And semi-automation not only reduces the physical work of the workers but also speed up the production work. In semi-automation handling, workers do the work of loading and unloading themselves, but rather than carrying material on their backs or by holding in hands, they can move it move the material using the trolleys or the trams. And it is economical for a company as a company hires a small number of workers to do the same amount of work. Moreover, it also lowers the rate of mishappenings in the organization and as well as the result of which medical expenses of the organization also reduces. Next is automated material handling. The next type is automated material handling, and the automated handling reduces or eliminates the manual work. Automated handling means machines and robots perform work. Robots have replaced the manual work completely. In developed countries like Japan, most industries have replaced their workforce with the worker robots. And there are several advantages to automated handling. And the first benefit is that it increases the speed of production work. Robots work 100 times faster than a human worker. Moreover, automation also reduces the chances of accidents during work, and workers are not required to do physical work in the gruesome work conditions, and they can sit comfortably and can control the robots to do all the physical work. Okay, so the automation reduces the production cost for the company. Rather than hiring many workers, companies can employ a few workers who can control the robots, and this reduces the expenses of the workers and wages and medical expenses. For example, Amazon is replacing its fulfillment center jobs with robots, and fulfillment centers are employing a considerable number of employees. Now, at the place of human robots, robots will pack orders to send out for the delivery. Okay. Then types of material handling equipment used during the material handling. Number one is conveyors, cranes and elevators and hoists, industrial trucks, auxiliary equipment. So number one is belt conveyor, and conveyors are basically a gravity or power devices used for moving loads from one point to the another point over the fixed paths. Okay, its example is belt conveyor, and in which motor driven belt usually made up of the metal fabric, and it will move over the specified track. Okay, next is the chain conveyor, motor driven chain that tracks material along a metal side base. Then roller conveyor, and boxes, large parts or unit loads roll on top of a series of roller mounted on a rigid frame. This type of roller conveyor you also see on metros, a metro station where we will check our luggage. Okay. Then pneumatic conveyor, a high volume of air flows through a tube carrying materials along with the airflow. Next is the cranes, elevators, and hoists. These are overhead devices used for moving varying loads intermittently between the points within an area. Next is the auxiliary equipments, devices or attachments used with handling equipments to make their use more effectively. Kit boxes are also used for material handling. Okay. For in your exam, question may be asked like explain the principle and objectives of the material handling, explain the various types of equipment required for material handling, and explain material handling. A 14-mark question may also ask in your final exam. I hope it is clear to all. Thank you so much for watching this video.